Hey everyone. Okay, so today is the time for my second vlog. Okay, so you heard right, that's my second vlog. I've got two now. A pattern is starting to form, I dare say. So I don't really script my videos, as you can probably tell. I probably just hit record and talk about what I want to talk about. So with that being said, what should I talk about first? Let me give you guys an update on the Salvation Extend product that I tried in my first vlog video, and let me tell you guys how I'm sort of getting on with that. So it's been 2 days so far. I've been taking a dose before the gym and while I'm at the gym, and I've also been taking a dose first thing in the morning and a dose midway through the night if I wake up. Now so far I'm having about 3 to 4 doses per day, and the taste is not getting to an unbearable state like somebody's doing the first couple of days. It's a bit early to give any positive feedback in terms of results, obviously being only a couple of days. One thing I will say is the last 2 nights I haven't had a great deal amount of sleep. Probably 5 hours last night and 6 hours the night before. Now I try to get 8 or 9 hours sleep per night, as we know, rest and recovery is the most important part of bodybuilding. However, the last 2 nights I've had less than optimal amounts of sleep, and last night I had a workout. I was a little bit disappointed with last night's workout, and I'll go back to that in a minute, but I had a workout, did some deadlifts, woke up this morning, no soreness. Can we say that's the BCAA product? It's too early to say. Maybe it's helped, maybe it hasn't. But as I said, I'll keep you informed as I go on, guys. Still early days, second day in. Plan on doing it for a good 2 or 3 months to really give it a fair trial. So apart from my sleep sucking at the moment, last night's workout, wasn't too happy with last night's workout. Without going into specifics of weights and stuff, I did some deadlifting. I haven't deadlifted for about 8 months, 9 months in my routine. There is a reason for it. I don't like going heavy all year round with big heavy deadlifts, especially past my 30s now. So, but when I was young, obviously, they were a fundamental part of my routine for the first 5 years. Very, very important lift. So are squats, you know. So even though I'm getting a bit older now and I don't do as many squats and deadlifts throughout the year, I have built a good base in the past, and it's a personal opinion. It's a personal reason for me not wanting to do them all year round, just to preserve knees and joints. And I also obviously substitute them for other exercises that I feel hit those target areas equally well. But yeah, the disappointment last night. So I haven't deadlifted for about 8-9 months. And let's just say I used to deadlift a certain weight. I've now come back 9 months later. I am technically bigger than I was 9 months ago, and in most lifts I am stronger. However, I haven't been deadlifting, and when I've gone back to resume deadlifting, my lifts dropped. Now you might expect that, so you know I think the next 2 or 3 workouts now incorporating deadlifts will be interesting, because in fairness I should probably jump back up to where I was. But it's just very interesting how I've grown in the arms, the legs. Everything seems to be getting bigger. On the whole, I'm stronger on the bench, stronger on my shoulder press, stronger on my curls at the moment, and yet my deadlift was a little bit below par for me. So it was just an interesting point. It kind of reminds me of a conversation I was having with a friend the other day as well, and he was saying that he was told to, because he wants a big chest, so he was told, rather than sort of focusing on hundreds of movements of the chest, just to focus on a goal of a strength on the bench press. So basically just aim to keep getting the strong as you can in the bench press, and your chest will grow. And he was asking me about that and how I felt, and I think this kind of illustrates the point. It is possible to get stronger without getting bigger, and likewise I'm sure it's possible to get bigger without getting stronger. what you got to remember is when you're powerlifting heavy weights, your body is more focused rather than on hypertrophy, but more focused on motor neuron recruitment in your muscles. How many motor neurons can it recruit? How many muscle fibers can it recruit to generate force? So powerlifting style training is training for something slightly different to how a bodybuilder would train. Now, he was doing slightly higher reps. He was doing between 6 to 8 reps. However, my sort of advice to him was, yes, it's good to focus on getting stronger progressively in a lift. Very good idea, obviously, to progress in a lift and get stronger. However, if you make that your only focus, sometimes you can lose some of the technique and where you are in terms of stimulating the muscle. I guarantee if you ask me to bench the heaviest I can, I would be benching in a completely different way to how I'd be benching if I wanted to stimulate the maximum amount of muscles. So especially my chest. So if I was bench pressing to stimulate the muscles of my chest, I'd have my shoulders retracted right back, almost touching each other as I lie on the bench. I'd have my chest raised as high as possible. When I brought the bar down, I'd bring the bar down with my elbow slightly in front, not up here at 90 degree, we sometimes see. And I would pause at the bottom for a short while to take some momentum away. As I push up, I'd make sure my chest starts the movement first. So I push through with the chest all the way, keeping my chest raised, pushing all the way to the top but not locking out, keeping the tension on the top of the movement, and then coming back down again for another rep. If I was bench pressing purely for moving weights, I wouldn't be pressing like that. So that kind of sort of fits in there with what I was saying to my friend. So apart from that disappointing workout, things seem to be going well elsewhere. I've started recording my macros now on MyFitnessPal. I haven't done this for a good probably about 8 months now. I haven't recorded my macros. And since the last time I recorded my macros, I'm about 6 to 7 kilos heavier than I was last time before I cut down. So what I'm going to try and do is for the next couple of months, I'm going to start recording my macros on MyFitnessPal. Even though I'm not actually cutting at the moment, I'm still on a calorie surplus, just slightly, but a calorie surplus, just so I can get some baseline data of how many calories I need now at this heavier body weight, because I would imagine it's raised slightly, and it seems to be I mean, it's only been 2 days in, so obviously until I've been monitoring my nutrition for a good 3 or 4 weeks, I won't get some good averages for you guys. But apart from MyFitnessPal and logging my BCAs, everything's been going good in that respect. Need to up my sleep now, need to up my protein. I might even try a Civation BCA drink before bed as well. In fact, someone the other day asked me, why do I take a whey protein shake before bed instead of casein? So I'll just correct that now before anyone asks me that question. The only study that I've seen on PubMed for using casein as a protein supplement for bedtime for its slow releasing properties is actually quite flawed. The study, I mean, I won't go into it now, maybe we could go into it in its own video, but if you actually read the research, it's not really comparing casein to whey in terms of muscle growth overnight. It's actually almost comparing adequate protein intake to a bit of a lower protein intake, really, because it's not monitoring its protein. If you read the study, you'll know what I mean. So yeah, I don't really go for the casein protein shakes. The other reason is, I mean, if I wanted something slow releasing, there's other things out there that are slower than casein anyway. So for instance, cooked eggs and milk, they digest slower than casein. And I also feel that, you know, when you eat some food, it takes about 20 hours for that food to digest. So really, it's not so much what you eat just before bed, it's how you've been eating for the last 24 hours before bed. I feel is probably a better way of looking at it. So if you're constantly eating enough protein in the day and your protein intake's high, I don't feel that you need a caffeine drink before bed. And to be honest with you, by the time it's started to be absorbed and it's digested, it's probably going to be no good for you anyway. You're probably on the way waking up. So that's why I don't have a caffeine drink before bed. Obviously, whey's more expensive anyway. I've got a good whey supplement. I buy it in bulk, so I have one of those before bed. And that's just the way it is. Going back to the cooked eggs thing, by the way, make sure you are eating your eggs cooked. There's no point having raw eggs for protein intake because raw protein, it's got too much avidin, which basically binds the protein. You need to cook the eggs in order to break down that avidin, so it's going to be no good for you having raw eggs, despite seeing all the Rocky films and stuff. So yeah, really, that's why I don't really have a caffeine drink before bed. And I suppose another example of this theory about how much you eat before you go to bed could probably be seen pre-workout rise. I mean, have you ever had a day when you've gone for a workout and you haven't eaten properly the day before? Maybe you've had a lot less calories, or you haven't quite met your protein, and you've had garbage food, and despite the day after having your pre-workout nutrition spot on, you kind of lag throughout the workout, and that's obviously, you know, a sort of demonstration that it's actually more important what you eat over the 24-hour period than what you necessarily eat before one workout or what you eat before bedtime. And I think we should start you know, taking the day into consideration as a whole. So yeah, at the moment I'm recording macros on MyFitnessPal. As soon as I've got some numbers there, I'll start crunching some numbers for you guys and give you some examples of my total calories, protein intake, carbohydrates and fats. And hopefully I'll be here in a few more days for another vlog for you guys.